Yo, you know the vibes. Uncle Ralph, Ralph McDaniels, Video Music Box, Lord Nez in the building.
Yeah, Queens get the money, baby. Shout out to Gully TV, man.
Gully TV.
How you say get your dribble right?
Get your dribble right.
Get your dribble right?
Ah! Yeah.
From the song if you want.
All of that is cool, the commercial, the intro, but I'm gonna start from truck drivers. You know, I'm gonna do my thing. Shit. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to the truck drivers. Shout out to Joe Mule Trucking, one of my loyal supporters. He stay rocking the PA Knittage. Frank Knittage, my man. Appreciate you. If you want to join the knit game, go to pa-knit.com. This is called The Scholar. Or you can go to therealdribble.com. I got like 170 styles over there. But my personal haberdashery, pa-knit.com. Go over there and get right. What's up with it?
We get a mic check just to make sure.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Shout out to everybody who's been keeping up with all this dope ass music me and PA Dre been putting out. I got an MC in here with me tonight. I'm gonna call him in here in the booth in a minute to introduce him to y'all.
All right, you ready?
His name is Raheem Blake. He out of Boston, Massachusetts. But yeah, watch the magic unfold. You ready? Let's get it in. Let's get him. Turn me up. Make sure y'all driving safe on that highway. Truck drivers, I'm back. I've been in the lab working. Y'all see me online. Make sure y'all follow me every step of the way. The Real Gully TV on YouTube and the Dribble Podcast available on all streaming sites. Yes, sir. Shout out to my engineer, Nick. I ain't been here in a couple of weeks. Whenever you don't see me, my nigga, that mean I'm somewhere getting busy. That mean I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? So in order for me to extend our win streak, I be having to get on that road, man. Go interview some dope MCs, man. You know, keep this thing going and shit. I was just in the Bronx like a week ago. Shout out to Iron Sheik. That's somebody I've been trying to get on the platform for a long time. Outspoken battle rapper from the South Bronx. And I want to make sure that this is the platform that you come to for for anything rare. I'm a firm believer that anything valuable, you got to dig for it. That's why they call it hidden treasure. You know what I'm saying? But often, anything of value, you got to dig for it. Diamonds, gold, iron ore, oil, all the natural resources is covered up. And this is the underground. This is where you come to find them. So, before I get started and shit, I want to share with y'all a grown man conversation I had with 38 Spesh. And I'm just going to go ahead and, first off, I'm going to apologize to him for a lapse in communication. As we discussed on the phone, me and Spesh, men got egos. Me, I'm more than a man and shit. I'm godly. I walk in my kingship. I got a huge ego. I often don't apologize for nothing. You dig what I'm saying? But we had a conversation, and it was in regards to a lot of the things that he got going on right now. He's dropped, stabbed, and shot too. His CD, Mother and a Gun, is one of the top underground projects that's out right now. And he was in a conversation where, in an interview, when someone asked him about, him being the best. And this unfolded on Instagram. And I interjected, and I said that I told y'all he was probably one of the active best on the East Coast some years ago. Sometimes he take a step back and get off into his production bag and do other things. But when he consistently dropping music, as far as the upstate New York corridor, that's the top nigga. You know what I'm saying, in my opinion. And he seen the comment, and he called me right away and shit. And we had a conversation, and he went into he said, Mill, man, I gotta keep it funky with you and shit. And he said, he said it kind of bothers me that I have your number, you have mine, and we talk on the phone. We talk on the phone and shit. And it's niggas on your platform dissing me and shit like that. And I had to, as professional as possible, articulate to him, my nigga, Rochester is mine. You know what I'm saying? Rochester is mine and shit. In order for me to establish my dominance on the East Coast, New York City, Philadelphia, they weren't always as cooperative as I would want them to be. So I put emphasis on upstate New York. And when I was doing this is when the Griselda movement and the Cloth and the Trust Gang started to become relevant. You know what I'm saying? And it gave me leverage over other platforms and shit. And I'm very territorial about that. I don't be wanting Rochester and Buffalo on nobody else's platform. So, you know what I'm saying? When niggas got the dissing you, this is what I'm saying to him. When niggas got the dissing you, it came out on my platform, but that was just me acting in the capacity of what I normally do. I cover Rochester, New York content. And it's irony in us having this conversation because on one of Spesh songs and shit, he says something like, hated by broke niggas. No, he said, and I'm not implying that the guys that was dissing him is broke or anything like that, but he said something like, hated by broke niggas, they keep getting pissed, and it's a lot of y'all rapping, so I keep getting dissed. He said that on the song, so that's what had played out on my platform, but I explained to him, my nigga, my platform is unbiased. You know what I'm saying? I try to make sure I give everybody who profess to be a professional room to speak their piece on a platform that is unbiased and shit. And I happen to be strong enough to facilitate these things and shit. But anyway, you know, he said, man, I'm glad we was able to have this conversation and shit because I felt it was like a disconnect. And I told him, I said, man, I was doing me. You know what I'm saying? When y'all started to become more high profile, some of the platforms that y'all went on was people that I was in competition with, my competition, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all not taking that into consideration when y'all going on these other niggas' platforms, I'm not really going to take it into consideration when somebody come to my platform and they got something to say about you. But at the end of the day, we both spoke our piece, and it was refreshing that we was able to meet like bosses and shit and iron that shit out because it was becoming a little bit awkward and shit because I do speak. I am the platform that introduced 38 Spesh as well as Benny the Butcher online and shit like that, and to see people come along and start dissing them after y'all have seen me with these niggas or seen me profiling these niggas, it might confuse the fans and they don't understand what's going on. But again, we got a chance to clear all of that up and, you know, life goes on. Stabbed and Shot 2 is out now, or pardon me, Mother and the Gun is out now. Stabbed and Shot 2 by 38 Spesh and Benny the Butcher is on the way. I gotta get in here and talk basketball before I go any further. I got some notes. I got my notes. I have to talk basketball. Shout out to the Knicks, man. Shout out to Zip with the Drip. Zip with the Drip is an MC that I brought to the table. He's established his own identity, his own platform online. He coined the term, let's get to that. Everybody has taken it and ran with it. It's real popular. He's somebody that I bring on the platform kind of like once a month. And we go at it like Skip and Shannon Sharp and shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to say that we the Cisco and Ebert of this underground hip-hop shit. And we go at it, man. Hip-hop, sports, and fashion. And what's wonderful about it is duality. We be displaying duality online. He has his opinions and I have mine. And when we clash, when we lock horns online, it creates a wonderful, wonderful conversation. But I told him I wasn't feeling the trade when they let Dante DiVincenzo go to Minnesota with Julius Randle, who I told everybody he was going, for Karl Anthony Towns, the cat. And I didn't like the trade all the way at the beginning because they broke up the Villanova nucleus. Dante went to Villanova with Jalen Brunson and Hart and Mikal Bridges and shit. They broke it up. Cool. People in New York City seem to be delighted at having a big man, a legitimate big man, again, in the Garden and shit. And my only gripe against that was, as long as he don't bring his ass in the motherfucking into New York City and into the Garden shooting no motherfucking threes, because Karl Anthony Towns won a 3-point competition, but the nigga damn near 7. I think he's 7 foot. I don't want no big man shooting no goddamn threes. Get your ass in the motherfucking paint and box somebody out. Get some rebounds and shit like that. But Zip with the Drip was saying, yeah, man, when they run the pick and pop, that's when they run the pick and roll. And instead of the guy who's setting the pick rolling to the basket, he pops out to the perimeter to shoot a jump shot. I said, man, that ain't what's up, man. We need Karl Anthony Towns. When they run that pick and roll, we need him to dunk the fucking ball. You see what I'm saying? We need his ass to go to the fucking hoop. But I said, we just going to wait and see how it unfolds. And the preseason is here, and they look good as a motherfucker. The Knicks, have you been watching the Knicks, Nick? They look good, man. They look good, and they deep, and it's working. It's working. It's working. I'm excited, man. I'm a Laker fan, but like I said in other episodes online and shit, the Knicks was always my East Coast squad, man. Patrick Ewing came out of Georgetown. And when the Bulls and the Knicks was playing each other in the early 90s, man, that shit was like a civil war. So you had to pick a team. And I didn't fuck with Chicago. They beat my Lakers in 1991 for Michael Jordan's first NBA title. So I don't fuck with them. I was happy as a motherfucker when John Starks dunked on that nigga. I happened to be watching that game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it funky with y'all, man. I like the Knicks, man. I loved Latrell Sprewell for the Knicks. I love John Starks for the Knicks, man. So I've been following the Knicks for some time now, man. Anybody want to test my knowledge about the Knicks, man? I'm more than ready to get it in, like me and Zip get it in online. But I have to stand corrected, man. I didn't think that they was going to jail this early and shit. Like, I didn't know what Karl Anthony Towns was going to bring to the Knicks, because this nigga like to shoot fucking threes, man. And they got an elite 3-point shooter. His name is Jalen fucking Brunson. You know what I mean? So, as of right now, it's working, and I'm impressed. Now, let me tell you what I'm not impressed with. Bronny James. I've talked about this on YouTube. I've talked about this on Instagram. Magic Johnson has came out and said it publicly. He belong in the fucking G League. He's not an NBA player straight like that. And in 2 games, I think he has 2 points. This game he just played last night, he was in the game 6 minutes. He got no rebounds. He got no assists. He got no steals. He didn't score a bucket, no block shots, a goose egg. But what stood out to me was, in 6 minutes of play, he was 0 for 4. Meaning in 6 minutes, this nigga shot the ball 4 times and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if another 55th draft pick would have been able to get 4 shots off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to play within the system when you just coming in and shit. But this nigga ain't no good, man. This nigga don't add nothing to the Lakers, man. It was like almost a wasted pick. Everybody talking about some, well, it's good to see father and son playing. Father and son ain't playing. The father's playing. The son just running laps. You dig what I'm saying? And in the motherfucking way. We need to get somebody in that slot and move on with this Bronny James madness. Jaguar Wright. I'm just running down here, just crossing things off my list. Jaguar Wright. I'm tired of this bitch. Tired of this bitch, yo. And not only that, I'm tired of everybody who is making a living, man, off of kicking dirt on others and shit. What I mean by that is, Choke no joke. I'm tired of that nigga. I'm tired of Gene Deal. D-Haven, no disrespect to you, pimp. We talked on the phone before. I'm tired of hearing from you. It's time for you to move on with your life. You dig what I'm saying? But Jaguar Wright gets under my fucking skin because this bitch is visibly suffering from some type of mental health condition, and people didn't want to acknowledge this shit. People be so thirsty for some, some sleuth. You know what I mean? They got what's called tabloid magazines, and that's what plays out online whenever Jaguar Wright does an interview and shit. She gets up there and just says anything foul, unfounded about popular people and shit. You know what I'm saying? She just has so much negative shit to say about everybody, and I don't understand how her opinion became so valid, being that she never experienced no success in music. She was on Song Cry with Jay-Z. I think she done some records with the Roots, but bitch, you hating on people who became successful. I noticed that often the people that start complaining is the ones who aren't successful, who it didn't work for them. So all of a sudden the music business is devilish and Illuminati and all of these fucking conspiracy theories that they come up with. And this is all rooted in the fact that this shit didn't work for you. So you want to kick dirt on everybody who it did work for and shit. In her quest to slander, she got on Piers Morgan's show, which is beyond a internet or an online platform. He's actually on television, I believe, and she has some slanderous shit.